Hi all, Violet here, second generation homeschooling mom of 3. I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a toddler. This week I thought it might be fun to take you along with me as I meal prep bit by bit. So let's get into it. So I don't like to meal prep in one big chunk. I find that overwhelming, so I kind of just meal prep when I have time throughout the week, and I try to do some sort of meal prep thing most days. So tonight what I'm going to be doing is a double batch of vegetable soup, and I will freeze half of it and then half of it we'll eat for dinner tomorrow, and my husband may also take it to lunch. He really likes soup and doesn't mind eating it for lunch and dinner, and then we'll have it maybe 1 or 2 nights after that as well, kind of just depending upon how much everybody likes it and how soon they get tired of it. And then if we have any leftovers, I'll freeze those as well. I'll put recipes for everything that I make down in the description box. None of this is like earth-shattering stuff, but I hope some of you find this helpful. So let's get started. And that's it. I just need to add water and set them to cook. Here's the final soup. It ended up being about 30 minutes of prep time. And then the crock pot went overnight, obviously. And then the Instant Pot, I set it to 40 minutes, and then it takes some time to heat up and then vent at the end. So I think it took about an hour altogether. So I could put that in the freezer before I went to bed. All right, it's Wednesday night, and tonight I'm going to be roasting some veggies, specifically green beans. This looks like a lot of green beans to me, but it's about 2 to 3 days worth of green beans for my family. I find it easier to prep things like this ahead of time so that when I'm cooking dinner, I have fewer kind of moving pieces to worry about. If the veggie is already ready to go, then I don't have to think about it. I can just pull it out and reheat it. Another reason I like to prep them ahead of time is my husband likes to take vegetables to work, and so he'll take a salad if we don't have any leftover roasted veggies, but these are a little bit easier for him to just grab and go. So these are green beans, olive oil, a little bit of garlic powder. I'm going to put them in the oven now. And while that's cooking, I'm going to blend up a smoothie that I'm going to make into popsicles for my kids. So I always start with spinach. This is fresh spinach that I froze just because it goes bad faster than we eat it. Banana, yogurt. I use Greek yogurt, but you can use whatever. Milk. And then I usually do 1/2 cup of mango, 1/2 cup of pineapple, and a cup of whatever I want the smoothie to taste like. My store was out of mango and pineapple, so I got this mixed fruit that also has strawberries and peaches in it. And we're doing a cherry flavored smoothie today. So a cup of frozen cherries. And I may have to add more liquid if this doesn't blend nicely, but we'll see. I'm gonna take that over to the blender now. All right, I've got my blended smoothie and I'm ready to fill my random collection of popsicle molds. So those are all done and ready to go into the freezer. I did have a little bit of extra smoothie, so I put it into this like protein shaker bottle. And this is just easy because if the smoothie separates in the fridge, I can shake it up really easily in this and then pour it out for whoever wants smoothie tomorrow morning. So those are all done. The beans are almost done cooking. It's been about 15 minutes, and that's everything I'm doing tonight. Hey all, it's Thursday. We're going to get started with some banana blueberry muffins. This particular recipe has oat flour in it, and you're supposed to make the whole recipe in the blender, but I don't like how sticky the blender gets when I do that. Like, I feel like stuff gets stuck in it. So I just blend the oats in the blender and then make everything else in this bowl. I usually double this recipe so it makes 2 dozen muffins. That's it for the dries. I have to mash this. This recipe is supposed to have chocolate chips in it, but my kids are kind of anti-chocolate chip right now for some reason, so I will be adding blueberries instead. So this is about 2 cups of blueberries for this double recipe, and I'm ready to stir it and fill my muffin trays now. So I'm going to put these in the oven now, and when they're done and they're cool, I'm going to pack up half of them for our breakfast tomorrow, and then the other half are going to go in the freezer for some later date. So while the muffins are baking, I'm going to make some overnight oats for me in my random assortment containers. My kids, unfortunately, don't really care for overnight oats, so they eat a lot of cereal. They really like cereal, or I'll make hot oatmeal, but I don't feel like eating hot oatmeal in the summer, so I'll make myself these instead, and then I'll make my kids hot oatmeal. I keep my flavors really simple with these, so I'm going to do 2 vanilla, 1 cinnamon, and 1 chocolate. I like to put already sweetened vanilla Greek yogurt into these, and so I don't add any extra sweetener to them, but you could easily use some other kind of yogurt or just plain yogurt and then sweeten them to your liking. This, I find, using already sweetened yogurt makes them just sweet enough. I don't like it when my breakfasts are too sweet, so this is the way that I like to do it. Stir these, and then I'll add my fruit on top. And I'll stir the fruit in tomorrow or, you know, when I eat them. I just put frozen fruit in these. It's the easiest. I like to do blueberries in the vanilla or strawberries sometimes in the chocolate, strawberries, or I'm doing like mixed berries, raspberries, and blackberries right now. And then in the cinnamon one, I usually like stewed apples, but I am all out of both stewed and fresh apples, so I'm going to do raisins today instead. So yeah, that's that. The muffins are almost done. Altogether, I think this took me about, looks like 35 minutes. So these recipes are a little bit fiddlier than some of the other things that I like to meal prep, but it's so helpful having a breakfast that I know I'll enjoy and that my kids will enjoy already ready in the morning. Hey all, it's Friday. Today I'm going to be making a bean salad, and I really like to do some sort of salad on either Friday or Saturday so that when I'm making my lunch for co-op on Monday, I have something ready to go. The kids usually get sandwiches or something, but it's just a lot easier for me if I already have something prepped ahead of time for myself. And then we'll also eat this during the week. My kids like this bean salad as a side. They don't really eat it as like their main course, but they'll eat it, most of them will eat it on the side. So this, I put in here 2 cans of black beans, 2 cans of corn, 1 can of pinto beans, and 1 can of pink beans. And then I'm gonna add the other veggies and the dressing. That bowl is absolutely not big enough to stir, so I moved everything into a stock pot. But the veggies that I'm adding today are tomatoes, onions, and pepper. I really like fresh herbs in this too, but I do not have any right now. So then the dressing is lime juice, paprika, cumin, and parsley. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll stir it and put it back in the glass container to go in the fridge. And we're all done with that. That took about 15 minutes with all the draining and rinsing the beans and chopping everything and all of that. I made a double recipe. I don't think I said that earlier. So we'll have it for a while. So yeah, that'll be really good. Hey all, it's Sunday night, and this is more meal prep adjacent than truly meal prep, but I thought I'd show you what I pack for our co-op lunches. So every week I ask my kids what they want, and this week my daughter chose garbanzo beans and crackers, and then I have these pea chip things in there too, just because the shape of that container, the crackers aren't the right, they're Triscuits, they aren't the right shape for it, and so I fill the extra space with those pea chips because my kids like them too. Dried mango, carrots, oranges, and then my son this week chose cheese and crackers, so he has mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, the same cracker pea chip situation, dried mango, cucumber, and oranges, and then they'll each get one of these fruity kind of dessert-like things. They're very sweet. And then for my toddler and I packed that bean salad that I prepped on Friday. So I have bean salad and clementine, and my youngest has bean salad, crackers. She has sliced cucumber and pepper, an orange as well, some cheese, a little granola bar, this apple, strawberry, zucchini applesauce. My kids really like the vegetable versions of these the best. They say that the texture is the nicest. So I always just buy the vegetable ones because that's the ones they like. And then she also has one of these fruit bars. So none of my kids will eat all of the food that I pack for them. They generally eat some of it during the lunchtime at our co-op, and then they'll eat the rest of it, or at least most of the rest of it, in the car ride on the way home. They just don't have the attention span or appetite to eat a ton when they're surrounded by all of their co-op friends, which is understandable. That is everything that I usually try to meal prep in a week. It just makes our weeks go a lot more smoothly. As you can see, it's nothing groundbreaking here. I really just try to make large portions of things that I know we like or that freeze well. And yeah, it just makes our lives a little bit easier. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any meal prep tips, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.